Hello. Today we will talk about how the well-known mollusk, squid, is mined in the ocean. Squid meat is considered a product not only delicacy, but also low-calorie. Squid meat contains a lot of useful elements. This explains its great popularity among consumers. In addition, it belongs to inexpensive seafood, and cooking dishes from it does not require complex manipulations and a lot of time. Up to 1.5 million tons of wild squid are caught annually in the world. Moreover, about 6 of its varieties are used for commercial purposes. The life cycle of many species is in most cases very short, no more than 2 years, so the catch occurs in an intensive manner without much harm to the population. The commercial squid is small in size. Most often, the length of the body from the tentacle does not exceed a meter, but in oceanic waters there are species that can reach 15 or 18 meters. Squid lives in any seas and oceans, regardless of climatic zones. Each of the varieties is ideally adapted to living in its zone. All species are predators. The capture of prey occurs with tentacles, with which he not only holds and strangles the victim, but also feeds it to his mouth. The tentacles also help him defend himself if necessary. Squid living in the northern seas are small in size compared to their southern relatives and mostly do not have a bright color. Commercial fishing of squid is carried out on special vessels equipped with jiggers or tackle in the form of a vertical pelagic longline, or bottom trawls, or seines. In the first 2 cases, lighting equipment is required. At the same time, such methods are most often used because of the greater efficiency of production. On an industrial scale, the squid is caught practically only at night, luring it into the light, using vertical tears and automatic longline picking machines. To do this, an apparatus with an electric motor, 2 eccentric drums and 2 rollers extended on brackets overboard is installed on board the ship. A tire is wound on any drum, a single filament synthetic fishing line with 30 or 40 brightly colored, most often red, green and white, sometimes luminescent, plastic jiggers. They are designed to mimic the main prey of the squid. Each of them at the lower end carries 2 rings of the sharpest barbless hooks from 0.8 to 1.4 millimeters long, depending on the size of the squid caught. The distance between the spinners is about half a meter. The tire ends with a sinker. At the same time, baits are not baited on spinners. Tears are ejected by a special machine that performs this action as evenly as possible. Lifting and collecting them are also automated. These machines are installed on both sides of the vessel along the entire length from bow to stern, in quantities from 6 to 40 pieces or more. In the middle of the ship, between the masts, catchy halogen lamps with a power of 1 to 5 kilowatts are suspended. These garlands of incandescent lamps should form a circle of light around the ship. The intensity of the light flux is adjusted in such a way that it attracts squid, and does not scare away with its light. Having chosen a fishing spot before sunset with the help of a high-frequency sonar, the ship drifts, throwing out a floating anchor in the form of a parachute to keep strictly bow to the wave, while the tears from both sides go into the water vertically and just at the border of light and shadow. Electric motors rhythmically raise and lower the tears with spinners, and the spinners, due to the eccentricity of the drum, twitch all the time, as if dancing, performing an ancient sailor's jig dance, hence the name of the jigger fishing method. The squid, attracted by the light, floats closer to the surface and approaches the ship. Vision allows him to distinguish the movements of spinners. However, squids cannot see the spinners at the border of light and shadow, but only notice something flashing and trembling, like a reflection of moonlight on the scales of a small fish. Greed clouds the eyes, mistaking them for prey. They rush to the reflection and hook on the hooks built into the lure with tentacles or a lip, sometimes even a fin. When an active bite occurs, 2 or 3 squids are attached to each lure. Passing through the roller when hauling the line, the squids unhook themselves from the hooks. For this they do not have beards. Then they fall into a chute with running water placed under the drums, which carries the catch into a non-specialized tank. From there they are taken out by sorting workers, stacked on pallets and sent to a refrigerated or freezing hold. With a long line, you can catch squid from a depth of 180 meters. And when during the course of fishing squid slowly rise to the surface, the depth of the gear is reduced. All operations are regulated from the bridge. The fishermen on the deck only observe the operation of the machines. In the area of squid concentration, at one moment there can be many ships of different displacement engaged in fishing. The flotilla is pulled out by a winding ribbon according to the bends of the hydrological front, on which squids accumulate. From space, the cluster of ships, thanks to the brightness of the applied lighting, looks like a huge metropolis of many millions. The fishing ends at sunrise. However, do not think that squid can be caught at sea only at night. During the day, this species of cephalopod is also very active, but it is sometimes difficult to find it in an unfamiliar area of the sea. The best option is if the vessel is heading to a catchy place that has already been tested over the years, where accumulations of different types of squid are constantly found. The volume of catch at a time in the case of the use of longlines or jiggers in combination with lighting can reach 20 tons. By the trawl method, up to 5 tons per hour of passage with a trawler lifted on board. Sorry-type traps can bring about 5 tons in one lift, purse gear, up to 10 tons in one sweep. At the same time, all types of trawls and nets, except for longlines and jiggers specially designed for catching squid, are not capable of holding a catch smaller than a net cell in the gear, and this greatly reduces production. Before sending the catch to the mainland, the squid is pre-processed on the fishing ship. This largely depends on the size of the squid. Small squids are washed and butchered right on the ship. Already cut, they are thoroughly washed in water at a temperature of 15 or 18 degrees Celsius until the remnants of mucus, entrails, sand are completely removed and left to lie to drain excess water. Ship-processed squids are often refrigerated or frozen. At the port, the harvested squids are loaded onto a truck and sent to a processing plant. Here the catch is washed and sent for cutting. Squids are cut into carcasses or fillets. Small fishing boats also butcher medium and large squid on the spot, immediately after being caught. Thus, squids are usually cut into fillets. When cutting a squid into fillets, a sharp knife cuts the mantle along the back or abdomen, starting from its edge and ending at the base of the fin. Having made an incision, the walls of the mantle are bent. The chitinous plate and the insides are removed along with the head. The abdominal cavity is cleaned with the blunt side of the knife. Then skinning is done. This is one of the most labor-intensive operations. Deskinning, even in processing plants, is done by hand. Now the resulting semi-finished product from squid fillet is ready to be sent to stores and cooked. The amazing confrontation of man against the invasion of these animals in Australia forced people to use machine guns, aircraft, bombs and even biological weapons. The link to this video is now on the right. Click and enjoy watching. And that's all for today. Until the next meeting. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and be sure to write your opinion in the comments. Bye.